Hello everyone. I'm Jim, Heather's son-in-law and Carol's husband. Heather's family offer you a warm welcome and thank you for coming out today. It's time to remember her and celebrate the wonderful life and the wonderful relationship that we all had with her. A big thanks goes out to those who helped out through Heather's fight with cancer. It was long and it was difficult for her. Particularly like to thank the hospice staff, the medical team and her GP, Dr. Rupert Scott. We all did a wonderful job and made it possible for Mum to be nursed in her home. And thanks to the family members, daughters and others who helped with that care. They also did a great job. I've known Heather for around 51 years, which is longer than I knew my own mother. My mother died when I was only about 38, and now I'm a lot older than that. So I've known Mum for a long time and got to know her very well. And she's been a wonderful mother-in-law. We enjoyed a very friendly relationship. Had some good discussions and sometimes we disagreed on things, but we never got bitter or angry, or she never called me stupid or anything, which she probably could have. So we had a good friendly relationship, and I have no mother-in-law dragon jokes to tell. I once said to her, "Mum, you're a bit of a disappointment. All my friends have got these terrible things to say about their mothers-in-law, and when men get together, and I can't say anything because you've been so good." Heather was born in Te, and Daphne, who's her sister, who's celebrated her 90th birthday just a week ago, is her sister, and the late Bill was her brother. Her father, Gordon Baird, was initially a post office clerk in New Zealand and Australia during the 1930s. Because of the Depression, he worked on the roads and farms once his job was finished or he was made redundant. The family moved around at this time, obviously looking for work, trying to make the most of the bad situation. They lived in Frankton, Tauranga, Waihi, Te Araha, Woodhill, before buying a farm at Wainuri in 1940. It was here that Heather met her husband-to-be, Cyril Crook, who was a bit of an itinerant farm worker, I think, at the time, and fencer. Their first child, Carol, was born in Helensville before the family moved to Morrinsville. They moved next to their own farm in Mangatapuri, west of Whangarei, and then into Whangarei City. Soon, Heather was a mother of 6. Carol, Elaine, Irene, Mark, Pauline and Annette. Of course, they're all here today. And those 6 children have gone on to bless Heather with 24 grandchildren and 29 great-grandchildren. so the family will live on for a while. Heather was always a very competent, caring and hard-working mother, and delighted in offering hospitality. We've had many wonderful birthday parties, Christmas meals, and other celebratory meals and occasions together, under her roof and under her supervision. Fabulous feasts at times, ably assisted by her children and others, who also contributed to the fabulous food. And always she went the extra mile. There was always too much food. Her children made huge contributions to those joyful events, and it's in their genes, like mother, like daughter, and like son. Always generous at those occasions. Gardening has been a passion of hers, and she has turned sections into beautiful gardens. Everybody who's been to her place always takes a stroll around the garden, often takes cuttings home, and always a delight to spend time in her garden. She and her sister Daphne obviously inherited the love and skill of gardening from their mother, who also had green fingers. Even when she was quite unwell recently, she was actively pottering around or directing others to tend to her plants and flowers. And right up to the last minute, her garden looked good. And she took great pride and great enjoyment, not only for herself, but in sharing her garden. Her love of gardening led her to being an active supporter of the Whangarei Friendship and Gardening Club for many years. And I believe there's some of this group here today. I'm sure you have some wonderful memories of her as well, so thank you for coming. Heather received her 15-year service badge as a volunteer for hospice. She worked tirelessly for hospice and enjoyed doing it and enjoyed the company and helping out. In latter years, she was a member of the walkie-talkie group, which sounds interesting. She joked recently that she could join them now as they too were getting older, and she had more chance of keeping up with them. I guess she meant walking and not talking. For more than 20 years, she was committed to a Central Baptist seniors group called 4Cs. Mum loved serving in this capacity. Also, she and Daphne had delivered Meals on Wheels when that was functioning. Heather became a Christian around about 12 or 13 years of age at a postal Sunday school movement camp at Eastern Beach in Auckland. She was baptised in the Tikipanga Baptist Church in the mid-1970s and has been a faithful attender of the Central Baptist Church, this church, for many years. Heather's Christian faith was rock solid and meaningful. By that I mean much of what she did for others. It was Christianity working itself out in a practical sense. She was quite quiet about it. She just did things for others. And we know that Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." And her faith was that working out of that. Serving her Lord, helping others. She believed with her whole heart the promise Jesus made to us. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Heather knew that this life is temporary, but the next one is permanent. To us, the phrase, "she's in a better place," is not just a platitude or a cliche, but a glorious reality. She knew where she was going. Now we're going to sing a song together. It's one of the three chosen by Heather for her funeral. Strange saying Heather because I always call her Mum. And three of Heather's great-grandchildren, Elisha, Micah and Gabriel, will join Heather Hayes to lead us in the song. So you can either stand or sit, it's optional. You can sing or not sing, it's optional. Okay? Now we're going to get some of the family, Heather's children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren who want to come up, and we're going to hear some of these family members talk about their mum, grandmother, great-grandmother. Stand in a semicircle around here. Okay. You can use this one. Just make sure. Just hold it up here. Okay. Grandchildren? Grandchildren? Great-grandchildren?
A very good job of explaining a lot, talking a lot about Mum. About 6 months ago, I had a phone call and we thought, oh gosh, this is it. So I sat down and wrote a few lines, and it was just the other day I said to my siblings, well, hey, I wrote this, and they said, oh, you've got to say it. So here I am. My mum, our mum. She was a mum to show us the way of providing for ourselves, setting an example of how she and Dad provided for us all through changing times. We were lucky to be given a mum who bottled fruit, and occasionally we would sneak the extra peaches similar to before they hit the preserving pan. She fed us out of Dad's and her vegetable garden, which became very large when we were teenagers. Mind you, sometimes all those girls on a diet must have been a bit of a saving for them. Yes, I remember, Mark, you often helped us out by eating the leftovers. A growing lad. Mum was quite the practical artist also, with knitting by hand relentlessly or using her knitting machine. She taught us to knit, embroider and crochet, and with our knowledge being topped up by our nanny, her mother, whenever we visited with them. However, her sewing ability was fantastic, with sewing our wedding dresses for 5 daughters plus the bridal party, showing us how to use a paper dress pattern, plus rug mating, shopping on a budget with coupons, as this was becoming fashionable, cooking, and of course making us go to Sunday school and Bible class regularly. This no doubt was giving her some peace for a few hours also. As we grew, Mum enjoyed working part-time at Masco's wool shop, Smith's truck and tractors, then going on to opening her own large gift and stationers, post office shop. Mum and I were able to support each other in our businesses through the years too. One of my Mum's great pleasures has been her gardening, with establishing new gardens wherever she lived. We were never really surprised when we would visit and she would have developed another pop-up garden. Her last time was at Tate Street, Carmo, has been very pleasurable for her, not only an easy place to live in, being nice and flat, but good soil for her gardening, and her outside sunroom conservatory, which was of such a size it made it great room for all her family to meet at for lots of birthdays, Christmases, friends get-togethers, or whatever excuse we could think of to celebrate and bring the family together. We will all miss these, I'm sure. Mum enjoyed her travels through New Zealand and other countries with all her children, and has enjoyed her gardening club, painting group and walks with friends when she could. Mum was greatly loved by her children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren, whom she created wonderful bonds with. Although her spirit lives on in our hearts, she will be hugely missed by us all. Fly high, Mum, we love you.
Kia ora. I'm Irene, number 3, and I think my siblings are in pecking order. Yes, there's a reason for that. It's been a long journey for Mum, and like Elaine, this was put on my heart in the middle of the night a few months ago, because we didn't know. Sometimes we thought this was it, and she rallied. So this is just a short, silly poem, and it's my heart to Mum. It's called I Have a Mum, a lovely mum. And as for me, I'm number 3, close behind 2, a smidge before 4. 6 of us she bore in all, and each of us can sing her praise, for she's our mum, yes, but more. There were times upon times, and we were aware of struggles in house and resources too scarce. You wouldn't have known, you couldn't have guessed, because Mum turned us out, always looking our best. With knitting and sewing, we would rest for success. Mum cooked and she baked till all tummies were full. In action, with deeds, she met the needs of us, her family, and you, her friends. A soft word, a kind word, here, a feed, some deed, there. Church gardening, handcrafts, paid work, volunteering and more. These things she did and she truly adored. Not one of them coped with, nor close to a chore. Wise Nana to many, great Nana, dear aunt, sister and pal. She cared deeply, sincerely, and she did it so well. Mum, though your title, your hat did change as you served, you remained steadfast to us, and your love never swerved. Rest now, dear mother, dear friend. Enjoy your eternal rewards, and know, we know, your blessings to us won't come to an end.
For a start, I'd like to thank this church, because I know it was a big part of my mother's life. The gardening group, the walking group, and all yous that stand in front of me, and I stand in front of my mother now, and I'm so proud to be here in front of my mother at this time. I'm the lucky one. I didn't have any brothers to beat me up or tell me what to do. I just had 5 sisters to speak for me. But I was very lucky because some didn't like the silver beet, some didn't like the kumara. So I got to eat that, and made me really strong. I've been away from Whangarei for a long time. But I've often come back to see my mother, and this is a time, I don't know when I'll come back again, but I'm very proud to stand in front of my mother. She is the anchor in our life. My mother and my father had a life, ups and downs, but they had a life. In the last 20 or so years since my father passed, she's created a life for herself. She's had time to express herself, go gardening, enjoy the family, and fulfill her commitments to herself as a person and as a Christian, and I'm so proud of that. Tick back in time, when I was a wee boy, like 8 years old, first time to go away on a football trip, she made me all these clothes. She knitted them, she sewed them, and she sent me away. She made sure I had everything I needed. And of course my father's job was to make sure I had football boots. And it worked. And this went on for years and years. And I'm so blessed to have her as a mother. I know my children are blessed to have her as a grandmother. And I also have grandchildren. And I have a son in Perth who can't come back, obviously. There's a partner, Misty, and a grandchild called Penny that can't be here today. I've got a daughter, Rebecca, who's my oldest daughter, in Greymouth, who has a son in Australia playing for rugby league, who can't come home, and Jessica, my granddaughter, and Levi, grandson, who's just come through knee surgery, who can't be here today, which would love to be here, but my beautiful daughter over there, she's live streaming this to parts of the world, close to Damon, Carol's oldest son. So this is not just here, this is around the place. But for all yous out there who love my mother, I'm so proud of all yous. And God bless yous. Great Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Hi, I'm Tracy. I was Nanny's eldest granddaughter, born on her 40th birthday. Mum was very clever. So when I reflect on what Nanny means to us and my family, it's very difficult just to put it into simple words. However, the words that come to mind with Nana was she was independent, she was industrious, and she was inspirational. But more than that, as Erica said to me this morning, she was our childhood. She was the birthdays, the Christmases, any excuse for a gathering. She was central to that happening. Her steadfast love, faith and ability to pull her family together in this way is her legacy to us all. And I just pray that we can continue to work out our faith and our love in our family by coming together and being with each other as much as we can.
Hello everybody, I'm Nicole. I'm Tracy's younger sister, Irene's second daughter, and Nana, Heather's third grandchild. So Nana was a really young Nana. She was only 40 when she became a Nana. And I think as grandchildren, like Tracy said, she was our childhood, but because she was so young, she had energy. And she needed energy because as grandchildren, she loved us, but upon reflection, we were actually really naughty. But she never growled. I was saying to Erica before, Granddad could sometimes be a little bit grumpy. You'd kind of stay out of his way sometimes, but Nana no matter what you were doing, she just loved us, and we could be rat bags whenever we went to her house, which was quite frequently because, as Tracy said, Nana's house was the place that we all went to. Us kids, we would trash the bedrooms. We would play inside. Nana and Granddad's bedroom was out of bounds, but we'd still go in there and try on her lipsticks and her jewellery and things like that. Granddad's top drawer always had the coins in, so we'd always go to that one. The craft room was out of bounds pretty much, but we would go in there and look at buttons and laces and things like that. But the two other bedrooms in the house at Otangaray or Hilltop Ave were open invites to be trashed. And we did turn those rooms upside down, and at the end of the evening we would just go. Poor Nana, she just would have spent ages putting the rooms back together again for the next time the grandkids came, which was probably the next day, for it to be trashed all over again. So your children, David was one of the worst. My goodness. But she was just a star, she was just a gem, and I found this little scripture in Proverbs that, I think this is how Nana thought about us, but she was our treasure. But this is how the proverb goes. Children's children are a crown to the aged, and parents are the pride of their children. And that's from Proverbs 17 verse 6, and it talks about us, Nana's grandchildren, being the jewels in her crown, and she wore that crown beautifully, and she saw the sparkle in each one of us grandkids when we couldn't see the sparkle in ourselves. But she just loved us anyway, no matter what attitude we came to her house with, or no matter how sulky or stroppy or boisterous we were, she loved us, and we knew that love. And I think upon reflection, really, she's our treasure, she was our diamond, and we're going to miss her so much, but we will carry on her legacy of kindness and loving God and having good manners and eating good food and being creative, all of those things that she is in us all. So we will continue to do you proud, Nana, and we know that you're with your King now, and you're wearing your crown and you're dancing through the gardens of heaven. So we love you and we honour you today.
So I am Tracy's and Nicole's, Erica's younger sister, also of Irene's. I was the rebel grandchild. Nana was the most humble, kind, forgiving, genuine woman I've ever known. Nana picked me up from the floor, and she loved me well again. My fondest memories are of the times running through the garden with mostly Hayley, but sometimes Alicia and Jake chasing us. And I've got one particular memory that always makes me laugh, and I felt so bad at the time. But Jake had been in the cupboard and he had stolen some chocolate chips. And Jake got away with it. But I'm really crap at being sneaky. I turned around, I heard a noise, I turned around. Nana, Sam! Jake did it! Sam! And I darted. But that was all it ever was. There was never